Hello my fellow gamers, welcome back to Comfortable Gaming. Today's video we're talking about a potential Xbox Game Pass killer and just what PlayStation is doing with this new PlayStation Plus launching June 13th. If you're new to the channel, we do everything Game Pass. So if you want to be alerted anything news on Game Pass, to games, to what's going on, day one releases, like and subscribe, it helps us a lot. Let's just talk about what's in this video. Now, so PlayStation has announced now recently just all these games that are coming so far, not everything, and it's just a bunch of games to game trials and the classic catalogs that we kind of what we know, plus this obviously the first party exclusives that are going to be on the service and the three different tiers and what it offers to essential, extra, and premium. And it's looking so good so far. And recently, what's going on with Xbox? With Starfield and Redfall being delayed. Well, obviously, we having also June 12th showcase. So I'm hoping Xbox has got some things up their sleeve to really rival, because once PlayStation Plus rolls, it's not going to be on a level as Game Pass, but there's a lot of potential on there. And let's talk about these games and how it rivals and what we think and what I think, in my opinion, will this be something that will significantly change players to go and play PlayStation, and knowing that there's not many big games coming for Xbox far as we know so far until end of the year because of the delays, it opens the room for PlayStation to seize the moment with their new service and stuff, which they had to make to rival, because again, Game Pass has been the best deal in gaming and it's pushed a lot of players towards Xbox, and I wasn't surprised that Sony answered with their own thing. So let's just get into the what games are going to be coming. Okay, so we got Alienation, Bloodborne, Concrete Gain, Days Gone, Dead Nation, Apocalypse, Death Stranding, Director's Cut, Demon's Souls, Destruction All-Star, Everybody's Golf, Ghost of Tsushima, Director's Cut, God of War, Gravity Rush Remastered, Horizon Zero Dawn, Infamous Second Son, Knack, Little Rogue, Marvel Spider-Man's Miles Morales, Medieval, Resogun, Returnal, Petapatoon, Medieval, Last of Us Remasters, Last of Us the DLC, and all the Uncharted games. So that's quite a lot of first-party games and some really awesome ones if you haven't played, which is looking good for PlayStation in a sense. I mean, there's a lot of old games which are really good PlayStation games. So, but for someone who's played, let's say for example, like myself, most of these games, like Bloodborne, God of War, things like that. Returnal I haven't played, Horizon I've played, Infamous I've played. So I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima yet, and all these great PlayStation exclusive games. Last of Us, I mean, it's an old game, so there isn't any big day one releases what Xbox is doing. So PlayStation doesn't believe they're doing the big game releases on day one, because they said it will ruin the quality of games. So for me, that's an advantage still towards Game Pass. But I mean, this list of just first-party games is quite good to PS4 and PS5. I mean, if you're gonna jump in and buy a PlayStation 4 now, it still will be worth it for certain things. But if you manage to get yourself a PS5, you can play Demon's Souls straight away, Bloodborne if you never played it, which from Software games is just absolutely amazing. We've seen what Elden Ring has done. Ghost of Tsushima is another great one. God of War was amazing. Infamous are really fun games. Last of Us if you never played. So for newcomers, Shadow of the Colossus as well, it can be a really good thing, but Uncharted games, of course. But for someone that's played PlayStation and someone who's owns a PlayStation for a while, for example, most of these games either you own already or played already, and getting the subscription to play some of these certain things is not going to gravitate you as much as, let's say, it's a little bit for more newer people if I look at what the games are going to offer. The next one is PS4 and PS5 games coming at launch. You're more than welcome to pause the video if you need to. And there is Ashen, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is a pretty new game, Celestial, City Skylines, Control, Dead Cells, Final Fantasy Road Edition, Hollow Knight, Marvel Guardians and Galaxies, Mortal Kombat 11, Naruto, NBA 22K, Red Dead Redemption 2, Resident Evil, the remake, the first one, Soul Calibur 6. So there's a lot offered from third parties to some awesome games. But I mean, when you look at this list, you must understand that most of these games are already on Game Pass. For example, Mortal Kombat 11, Hollow Knight, Marvel Guardians of the Galaxies. Red Dead was last year. Red Dead 2 was on it. Okay, Resident Evil, I think 7 is not. Resident Evil 1 is on Game Pass. Soul Calibur 6 was also recently on Game Pass. Dead Cells is there. Control. Assassin's Creed Valhalla wasn't not on, so that's quite a nice little one. Outer Wilds is on Game Pass. So when you compare it to third-party games, and a little bit of the classic things via Ubisoft and PlayStation Plus, you must understand that Game Pass has been in the making and processing this for the last 5 years, and PlayStation is just launching this fairly quickly. So to have a bunch of these games already is not bad at all. I mean, if you haven't played Assassin's Creed, the new one, that's a good thing. There's some games I'm sure some people haven't played. It would be nice they'll be on the service type of thing. So I don't want to bash PlayStation and say it's a bad thing and how much they're asking for. They are starting somewhere, and it's not. It's looking good, like a really good rival to Game Pass, and it's this thing of the delay with Starfield throws quite a spanner in the works for Xbox. So the showcase needs to be better, and because of Starfield and Redfall's delay. So we see from there where we can go and where Xbox, I think, are going to take it. So I'm hoping this showcase, but I'm not going to hold my fingers that it's going to be amazing, the showcase on 12th of June. And this thing launches on the June 13th. And there's a bunch of other games too, classics. So there will be free trials in the Premier Edition for people that need to know. And those free trials will be Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, Horizon Forbidden West, Cyberpunk, Tina Turner's Worlds, and WWE 2K22. So essentially with Premium, for those brand new games, the type of thing, you get demos to try out for 2 hours. And then you can decide to purchase the game and so on and so on. And all the classic games that are also coming to PlayStation Plus to those premium subscribers are Ape Escape, Hot Shots Golf, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter, which I loved playing a long time ago, Tekken 2, Worms World Party, Worms Armageddon. Then we also have some remasters: Dark Cloud 2, Fatal Vision, Jax 2, Jax 3, Jax X, Jax and Dexter, Rock Galaxy, Wild Arms, third-party remasters to Beja Edge of Control, Bioshock Remastered, which has been on everywhere for a long time, Borderlands Handsome Collection, Kindle Bulletstorm Film Clip, Lego Harry Potter Collection, which is a nice game, Kindle of Amalur, which is really great, and then those PS3 things you can play via cloud will be Crash Command, Demon's Souls, etc., etc., Infamous 2, Ratchet & Clank Future Crack in Time, Into the Nexus, Resistance, Tokyo Jungle, Fear 2, Lost Planet, Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare, Ninja Gaiden, Sigma 2, Lost Planet 2, Devil May Cry HD Collection, Castlevania Lords of Shadows, Fear. So some of really cool third-party and classic studios. I'm still waiting on the PS1 and the PS2 versions of those classics coming. That thing, that would be really great, because I think what they've seen at PlayStation is what Xbox has also done with their classic games and backwards compatibility, what's drawn me for the Xbox. So yeah, it's looking good. It's looking like a really good rival, and they're doing it at the perfect time as Xbox does its delays, which I feel will hurt them. But at the same time, I hope that Starfield does become a really great game, and Redfall, which I'm not so sure about, because a delay can mean a good thing. But let's see what this PlayStation thing happens. I'm excited for it as well. I know I made a channel, and this is primarily a Game Pass channel, and I think making this video is like a rival to Game Pass, but it doesn't mean I'm against Sony and PlayStation, etc. I'm not a person that's stuck to one console, to one system. I love my Nintendo. I love my PC games I've grown up with. I actually played, I think, PS1 and PC originally more than anything else growing up, and then I always played PC for many years. I never owned a Nintendo until recently, and Xbox as well. I was always on PlayStation and PC, so for me to jump in and buy an Xbox Series X over a PS5, although it's been very hard to get a PS5, says a lot of words of just the classic games I loved growing up, that I can just go in and play them, just put in a disc and play them. And that's what Sony never offered, like a lot of the games until now, with this new subscription where we're going to see these classic games, hopefully. The PlayStation classic games that we missed, like for example Siphon Filter and things like that I played as a kid that I loved. So it's a great thing for Sony as well to do that, because I've been talking for years. They just remastered the old game you bought last series and charge you full price, and that's what Sony's been doing for a very long time, and Nintendo. So Xbox doing that, that's one of the main reasons I also got an Xbox, plus pair it with Game Pass, which has been really great. So I'm hoping both services fight for subscribers, because I don't think we're gonna have a console war per se, as it's going to be like a service subscription, more like Netflix fighting with Amazon and things like that, and Disney Plus now launching. So it's gonna push as the world goes into more digital and more things and more friendly. So there's not disc produced, etc., etc. And the world changes, and the internet's faster. Streaming is gonna get better. It just makes sense. This shift of things. I do like collecting games. I stopped doing it because it accumulates a lot of space. This gets scratched very easily. Sorry, and so it's exciting. It's exciting time for gaming. There's a shift in change, which can be a good thing. But the way games have been coming out broken and stuff, my biggest worry is, oh, but it's on the service you're paying, so doesn't matter if it launches scrappy. So it brings quite a big down on things, and I understand Sony doesn't want to release games day one because they feel like the quality is going to be lost. I do understand that segment, but I guess that's just Sony just wanting to charge their full price. So Game Pass still has that time to seize with their day one exclusives, which can be a big thing. But the biggest problem, like I said, was Redfall and Starfield being delayed this year. So we'll see with the showcase. Let me know, guys, what you think about Sony. Are you a Sony player, Xbox player, whichever? I love both games. So there's so many great games on Sony that I love playing, and there's so many games on Xbox that I want to play. PC and Nintendo has its great exclusives. I mean, the Zelda series I've always loved. So there is something for gaming, and I know a lot of people can't afford to have all the consoles and stuff, which is very understandable. So I wonder which console picks you choose the most to play, or maybe you're a diehard fan on one. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Let's start that console service war. I'm just kidding though. And thank you guys for watching. I hope this clarifies what's going on, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.